appreciate it. Make sure you have your emails and all that, and we'll get some raffle for the Pacer tickets. So now Adam here today. Who here knows Adam? Has anyone talked to Adam before? I don't know. Okay. Well, good. Well, Adam actually is a business coach. He also runs the Keller Williams Carmel office. He helps people, and that was the most impressive thing about this whole worksheet. Does everyone have a copy of the business plan? Who's here? Yes?
I know.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll get you one. So again, what we're going to do is dissect it. Adam's taking a ton of training about this stuff, and I think it's going to be great. So Adam, thank you very, very much for coming out here to do this for us. I appreciate it. So let's get a round of applause for Adam.
Thank you, John. Thank you. The millionaire real estate agent is what it's called.
Yeah.
$1 million plan. Now we can call it whatever we want to, right? So let me give you a quick little background about myself. Formerly a Hoosier, now back a Hoosier again. Went to IU. I was a collegiate tennis player, and as soon as I was finished with college, I thought, why stay in Indiana? The world's big and round. Let's go find something fun to do, and where can I go get in trouble? Well, that led me to sunny Southern California, and as a tennis player, the first thing I thought of was, well, let me go follow my passion of tennis. There was no A tennis in the phone book. There was B, which stood for Beverly Hills Tennis. So I thought, that could be kind of fun, right? So I faxed in my resume. They said, yeah, your resume speaks for itself. You've got some collegiate history. You have taught some before. So I went in and thinking I'm going to be teaching tennis to the stars, right? All they had was a clerical position open. So I answered the phone for $7 an hour. Now, being the hard worker that I was, I would have people that would call in and say, hey, I want a lesson, and I was supposed to give it to the clients or the pros. I'd put it in my pocket and go teach them at the local YMCA and make a little money on the side. Don't tell anybody I said that. My partners still don't know that. So within 2 years, I was the director of everything, and within 2.5 years, they made me general manager, just because I kind of hung out and I was the pro shop rat, because I didn't have anything else to do. It was fun. I loved tennis. It was fun. I wanted to stay out of the troubles of LA. Didn't want to be an actor. Met a lot of wannabe actors who served food, but they all had a dream. And it was then that I found a passion, and that was business, building businesses. Now, mind you, I was 24 years old at the time, running a $500,000 company. We had about, I'd say 15 to 20 tennis pros. But I found a niche, and that was catered to more of the kids, a niche within the city of Beverly Hills. And I took the company from $500,000 to $2 million in 2 years. We were having fun. The owners loved it. They said, here, Adam, here's some equity. Now I'm 26 years old and I have equity in my first company. Wow, what am I really doing? I still have no idea what I was doing. And it was then that I met this beautiful blonde on the beach who wound up being my wife, who was in lending, and 3 months into dating, she says, let's buy a house. I said, wait a minute, don't rush me now. You're not going to rush me. Because no, that's what everyone's doing. We're buying and selling houses. They were commodities. They were like commodities. We were all, how many people were in the real estate industry in the early 2000s? Just a few of us. So we knew what that was like, right? Anything you touched, you can make money on. And we did. So we bought a house. First house we bought was $500,000. Still, I had no idea what I was doing, but she did. It's called 100% financing and stated programs. Remember those? Wire loans? Sure. Lie your way to $500,000. 6 months into owning it, the beautiful blonde said, let's sell it. But man, you are really crazy. We sold it. I won't tell you how much we made, but we made some money. We went around and did that 17 more times in a 4-year period. Had a blast doing it. Rode the wave down, all the way down. All the way down. The last house we flipped was $740,000. That house sold 2 years ago for $325,000. I was, someone else was the owner. Poor sap who bought it from me. Oof, poor guy. So then I jumped into traditional sales. And one of my tennis clients, who was with Keller Williams, he said, hey, you're a great business guy. Talk to me about your business in real estate. I said, what do you mean? He said, show me your P&L. So what's a P&L? I knew what a P&L was in the tennis club, but not in real estate, right? He said, well, how much money do you make? How much money has your business made? I said, I don't know, let me go look at my bank account. Right? Isn't that what we do to see how well our business is doing? We look at our bank account. And it was then that I thought, you know what? He's right. I need to start running this business like a business. And we did. My partner and I, we moved from Coldwell Banker to Keller Williams. We created an organization that I was able to step away from to come back to the Midwest and now run this office. So now I now have two companies, both in Beverly Hills, one in real estate and one in tennis business. And now I run the Keller Williams office where we have 115 agents and we are just south of $250 million. I'm running that business. So my goal today is to share with you how to do that in your business. So let me ask you a few questions. How many people actually run their business, their sales agent business, like a business? Be honest with me. Okay, that's good. These are rhetorical questions. You don't have to raise your hand if you don't want to. How many people use a P&L on a monthly basis? Okay, you don't have to raise your hand. Just know in your mind whether it's a yes or no. How many people look at their bank account and say, yep, my business is working because I have money. I don't really know where to go, but I know what I'm doing. Good. Good. Today we're going to learn 4 models. Actually, probably just 2. Because I'm going to take 48 hours worth of material and try to cram it into one fast hour. So stay with me, I'll talk real fast. No, I'm kidding. Why should we, let me ask you, where's my mark? I brought a mark. Let me ask you, who's been in the business for 10 plus years? Just a few. 5 plus years. 1 plus year. So we have a bunch of relatively newer agents. Okay. Why are we doing the business? What is it about the business that we're trying to live this life? What are we doing? Anybody want to share why you're in real estate? Anybody?
Make money.
To make money. Good. What else?
Freedom.
Freedom. Freedom from what?
Work.
Freedom from work.
Yeah.
Right. Good one. What else?
We don't have a beach, but it's still fun.
You don't have a beach, but it's still fun. Love it. Love it.
Flexibility.
Flexibility, good one. What questions would you like to have answered today about planning for your business? Have you thought of any questions prior to coming? What questions would you like? Anybody? Throw it out here. Any questions? No questions. Please.
About how to plan it around building it and making the money that we want to make without completely burying yourself and getting away from the flexibility and the freedom.
So how to build a business and create more time in the world, right?
Is that balance?
26 hours. And balance. Okay, quality of life balance. I'm just going to put Q life balance. Okay, quality of life balance. We want more time and more money, right? Is that what I heard? More time, more money? Okay, please.
Consistency. I'd like it to
And?
be in my work as opposed to feast or famine. Sometimes swamps, sometimes you're like, whoa, is there any way to build in?
So not riding the real estate roller coaster.
Is
Right?
that possible?
So I'm going to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw a big circle and say, nah. Okay, does that work? Any other questions? Okay, we're going to answer these. Now, there are 3 buckets that I was taught a long time ago of why to be in business. Where should I write these? We'll put them over here. Bucket number 1. Come on. Draw a big bucket. Pretty good. Bucket number 1 is I highly recommend writing this down, is your lifestyle bucket. Now we're figuring out why we're doing real estate. We're going to say lifestyle. Lifestyle. We all like our lifestyles. Do we like our lifestyles?
Yes.
Want to be bigger, better though? Right? Fancy cars, fancy suits, Ferraris? Okay. This is present. This is your present money. Okay, that's covered your monthly net. Right? We have to make enough money during the month, hopefully, to cover our expenses. Have you ever heard the phrase, there's too much month at the end of the money? Mm-hmm. You ever been there before?
Yep.
The other one, bucket number 2. Yeah. Student loans, we might have some. Credit cards, we might have some. That fancy car you're down in the parking lot might be financed. Hopefully it's not leased. Might be financed. This is past money. Okay? So there's the second one. Who knows what the third bucket is? Anybody think of the third bucket? We got a plan for the future, right? Buckets are getting better. Investing. Investing. And that is your future money. Would you all agree that those buckets are pretty much what we need to concentrate on? Would you agree? Yes? Yeah? Okay. Dave Ramsey. Do we have any Dave Ramsey lovers in the room? Mm-hmm. Dave Ramsey is going to be speaking at a convention I'm going to be at in February. Yeah.
We're at.
What's that?
We're at.
Dallas. Dallas, Texas. You want to go? Sure. Removing that debt. Investing. Let's talk about investing real quick. What does that mean to you? What does investing mean? Stock market, maybe? I wouldn't go there for a while. Rental income? Anybody have any rental properties? Good. 1, 2. Anybody planning to buy any investment properties? Good. Why?
Passive income.
Good one. Passive income. Good one. Passive money. What's important about passive money?
Having to work for it.
There you go. It takes less work. Absolutely. Would you all agree with me that right now is the golden age of real estate investing? Right? If you have kids, or if you don't have kids, if you plan to have kids, if you have any grandkids, I'd recommend going to buy a house for them. Forget the 529 fund. Go buy a house for them right now. Sit on that for 18 years. Let someone else pay your mortgage, and then let them have that house. I have 2 kids. Getting close to having 2 investment properties. But these are the 3 buckets that we're going to be talking about today to answer some of these questions. Okay, so let's jump into your worksheet. The first one is called the economic model. Has anyone ever done one of these before? How did it work for you? Still sitting on your desk last year. You pulled it out. Good. So the first one is called the economic model. Mind you, gang, everything that I'm talking about comes from this book right here. This is called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It is the red book. If you haven't read it, if you haven't bought it, I highly recommend going to grab it, because who wants to earn or net $1 million next year? Here we go. So there's about 3 of you that want to net $1 million? Okay, good. Come on now. Let's just put it this way. Who's not going to raise their hand if I say something? Okay, good. Making sure we're on the same page. Netting $1 million is right here, guys. Go buy this book. You can't go wrong with this. I have a copy over here. Actually, I have a whole bag that I'm going to draw names out of a hat and I'll give them to you. But I highly recommend getting into this one. So the economic model. We got it out? Good. What does that very top word say? Net what? Net income, right. I want you to take that word income, cross it out, and put the word profit. Net profit. Net income, net profit, same thing, but I like the word profit. Don't you want to have a profitable business? Yes, some of you. Some of you like to be in the red, that's okay. Like to be in debt, that's okay. Profit. We're going to talk net profit. So the first number below that is called gross closed income. We're going to figure out how to get your gross closed income right now. I want you at the very top of the page where it says economic model, economic plan, put your volume you want to achieve for 2013. Volume meaning $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million in closed sales volume. What do you want to do? Write that down. Closed sales volume. Everyone have that at the very top of the page? Does anyone want to share what they wrote down? 10 million. Good. Anybody else? 15 to 20. Which one?
20.
20. Okay, good. Stay with that one. 20. Anybody else? Let's share.
25.
25. Solid. Okay, now, How do you figure out gross closed income? You take that number, your volume number, multiply it by 3%. Let's say on average 3%. So take your number, volume number, times 0.03. Need a calculator? I have a phone. You're more than welcome to use it. 0.03. That goes in the gross closed income column. Volume, total volume times 0.03. Let's see. Okay, do we have that? We have your GCI. We're going to call that GCI. How are we doing? Doing okay? Okay. Now, the next line down, what does that say, please? Cost of sales. Who knows what that is?
Marketing?
Cost of doing business, marketing. Good. Anybody else want to take a shot at it?
Expenses.
All your business expenses? Okay. Now, cost of sales, I'm going to tell you, is the cost to generate revenue. It's the cost to generate revenue from a buyer's agent or a listing specialist. You don't have one of those on your team, guess who gets that money? You do. Right? You do. We're going to add a line item for yourself. Line item for yourself. Also in cost of sales are any referral costs that you have to pay out. Anybody doing a referral business? Okay. Also your royalties, if you pay a royalty at your office. And your split amount that you pay to your broker. All of that is going to go in your cost of sales. Now, how do we figure that out? What should that be? Per the model, it is your GCI, gross closed income, 30% of that. Or according to this, it says 29.2. Let's just round it up for 30%. Go ahead and do that math. Your cost of sales should be 30% of your GCI. No more than. How are we doing? You okay? Anybody sweating yet? We're having fun. Okay, the next line down, operating expense, is everything else. Everything else in your business. That is your marketing. That is your salaries if you have an executive assistant. That is your telephone costs. That's your car if you're writing it off. That's your insurance. That's your technology. That's anything else is going to go in operating expense. Operating expense is also 30% of GCI. No more than 30%. So how are we doing so far? Anybody nervous on how much money you're spending?
Another 30%?
Another 30%, that's right. It is the same number as your cost of sales. No, no. No, no. I like that statement though. She said that's why there's nothing at the end of the year.
Janet, are you saying that operating expenses are equal to cost of sales? Because I totally disagree.
They can be.
Oh, they
They
can?
can be.
Okay.
They should not be any more than. They can be. Okay? If you want me to break it down just a little bit, I'm not going to go into too much detail of your operating expense. Your salary to your executive assistant should be no more than 12%. Your marketing should be no more than 9.2, or you go ahead and say 10%. 10%. So it can be. It doesn't have to be. Your cost of sales does not have to be that, but it should be no more than. Does that make sense? Okay, how are we doing? Let's figure out what your net profit is. So take your GCI minus your two expenses, and you should get net profit. How are we doing? Net profit? We have it? Okay, what is net profit? Someone explain net profit to me, please. What does it mean? What is net profit?
Because you're walking home with.
Okay, but you're walking home. What about the money that you paid yourself in cost of sales?
Back to the business.
Let's do the opposite. Net profit is a profit that the business has created. You've already paid yourself in your commissions and your cost of sales. That's correct. Net profit is before taxes. You have to pay taxes on that net profit. Yep, you have to pay taxes. So with your net profit gain, you can do just about anything you want. Put it back into your business. You can save some for a rainy day, which I highly recommend. You can pay down some debt. You can go invest in some things. But that's your business's net profit. Now, we've taken your business from, is your business profitable? Let me look at my bank account. No. To actually having a model to follow. To say, yep, I have been profitable by X. You can do this on a monthly basis. You can do this on your annualized basis too. How are we doing so far? We with me? We bored yet? This is going to get exciting. Okay. So does everyone have a profitable business? Yes? Yes. Good. Is the profit where you want it to be? No, I heard a no. Okay. So you can change that. The next lines down are the seller and buyer sides. I want you to put above where it says seller and above where it says buyer, what percentage of your business will come from sellers and will come from buyers? That's completely up to you. I would recommend 50-50, but again, that's up to you and your business. Put that above buyers and sellers. In the column below that, where it says gross revenue from sellers, gross revenue from buyers, take that percentage from GCI. So if your GCI is 100,000, and you said 50% of my business is going to come from sellers, that means your gross revenue from your sellers is $50,000. Okay? Tell me if I'm going too fast. We good? Okay. Next line down is your commission. You should know what your average commission is for your selling side and average commission for your buying side. 3%, 3.5%, 2%, 2.5%. Are you a cutter and undercut the market? So you're 0.5%. Don't tell me. Can't talk about that. Put that down. Sure. Your commission. That is your commission. 3%, 4%, 2%, 1%, whatever your average commission is. Okay, now take your gross revenue from your selling side. Let's stay on that side only. Take that number divided by your commission. So if your commission is 3%, take your gross divided by 0.03. Yep. Gotcha. Pretend like you're listening. Yeah, okay, good. It will be $1 million number. So 360,000 divided by 0.03. Do it for the buyer side if you want to as well. Keep going. Let me know when you're finished with your volume. Now you add those two volumes together, your seller volume and your buyer volume, and that'll give you your total volume for the year. Does it match the number at the very top? What's that? That's correct. No, it should match the original volume number that we wrote down.
What's your number?
No, man.
How we doing? How we doing? 50 million, that's a lot of volume. It's all right though. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so, are we ready to move on?
What's that mean?
What's what mean? That's your
This
plus this should equal
That's
this.
good.
Oh.
That's good.
You actually like with that.
No, that's good. That means it comes out. Now, let's stay solely on the seller side, please. The next line down says your average sales price. Do you know what your average sales price is? If you do, write it down, please. If you don't, know the average in Hamilton County, or wherever you sell. Average in Hamilton County last year, 2011, I believe, was 240 and some change. Okay, once you have your average down, you can see what the next step is to do. You're going to figure out your seller sold transactions, how many transactions you have to sell to achieve that. So take your volume divided by your sales price. Your average sales price. Got it? Is it more or less deals than you thought you would have to do? What do you think? More or less? Or is it right on? Right on? Okay. The next line down says your seller transaction conversion rate. This is where I want to ask you, do you track your numbers? Do you understand how many appointments you go on to the number of listings you take? Does anyone track that? You do, good, fantastic. So the next line down is you should know your conversion rate from an appointment, from a listing taken to a listing sold. You hear that? From a listing taken to a listing sold. What is your conversion rate? National average per the MREA book is 65%. So if you want to write 65% down, go right ahead. 65%. That's your listings taken to listings sold. Conversion rate. Yeah? Are we doing conversion rate? We got it? Good. 65%. Now take your conversion rate, your seller sold, divided by 65%, 0.65, or whatever your conversion rate was. And that'll give you the number of listings that you have to take. Go ahead. Good. That'll show you how many listings you have to take. This is 65%. That's the average. Take 83 divided by 0.65. That'll give you the number of listings you have to take. That's how many you have to take. The number of listings you have to take. We've got some dreamers over here. We've got some dreamers. We're going to increase that average sales price. Okay, let's get back here. Come on. Stay with me now. Okay, so we have our conversion rate, right? We have the number of listings we have to take. Now you need to know the number of appointments you have to go on to achieve that. The number of appointments that you have to go on. The average, national average, for appointments went on, listing appointments went on to listing appointments taken is 80%. You can know your own average, but the national average for the MREA is 80%. So you're getting 8 out of 10 listings. If that's what what you do, write it down. If it's less, put less. Now take your listings taken, divided by the conversion rate, and you're going to figure out how many appointments. How many appointments you have to go on. Good. And then you'll figure out how many appointments you have to go on. Now take that number divided by 12. That'll be the number of appointments you have to go on per month. Yes. Okay. 18. Okay, so. So how many appointments do you have to go on per month? So 8. Yep, divided by 12. 6, 13, 8. You have to go on 8 listing appointments per month. Okay? How does that compare to where you are right now? It's on par? Solid. 5, 6, solid. Very good. Let's do the same thing now for buyers, real quick. Buyers is a lot prettier. Okay. So we should know our volume. Is that correct? Does everyone know their volume? Okay. Take your commission or take your volume, and you put your average sales price for your buyers. Some of you have already gone ahead, which is fantastic. And keep doing the math all the way down. Let me give you the conversion rates though, national average. From a buyer that gets into your car to a buyer that actually buys is 80%. That's it. Now, that's the national. That's national. Yours could be a lot higher. 95, perfect. Okay, keep going down, do the math. The conversion rate for appointment, so a buyer consultation, to actually the buyer saying, yes, I want to work with you, is 65%. And keep doing inverse, that's right. 65%. Nope, that's 80%. And the bottom number is 65. So 29 are going to get in the car, 80% of that are going to say. Actually, 36 about 48. There you go. That's 65%. Okay. That's going to tell you how many appointments you have to go on, how many buyer consultations you have to go on. Okay, so.
I'm sure you
Okay, so how does it look? How many appointments do you have to go on per month? Is it more or less than you thought to achieve the volume? A lot less. So who wants to tell me the total number of appointments you have to go on? 14 total appointments in a month. Good. Anybody else? How many appointments? So 14 appointments in a month. I'm sorry, what's your name?
John Wright.
John Wright, Adam Roach. 14 appointments in a month, and what's your total volume?
Right, come out at the very, very beginning of what you were talking about.
That's right, total closed volume.
20 million.
Beautiful. 20 million. 14.
I thought it was Andrew laughing, not you.
Good.
Oh, that's real good.
Stop. Is anybody lost before we move on? Talk to me. I'm here for you. Please.
I'm still a little lost between, I'm looking at after taxes on 3 million volume versus $3,000. So, okay, so where is the, this is all you would make, or what were you saying about the cost of sales being part of what you were your business saying?
So, your commission is in here.
Okay,
So you have to take out whatever you pay your broker.
okay,
You also have to take out whatever you pay your royalties, or referral fees. And then that'll be your money.
okay.
And then this is also your money.